Welcome back to Valencia. The FIA Karting paddock is here once again. Whilst the Spanish port is home to landmarks such as the City of Arts and Sciences, up in the hills above Valencia, over 200 drivers and their teams will respectively need to use their driving flair and engineering knowledge to emerge victorious here this weekend. Here in Spain, the FIA Academy Trophy Senior Grid joins the action for their opening race of 2026, whilst it's the second round of the European Championship campaign for the OK and OK Junior categories. Popular with the drivers, this circuit is a test of all the skills required to be a front-end international kart racer. Fast corners, testing technical sections, and a flowing style which encourages close racing, the Kartodromo Internacional Lucas Guerrero is ready to put on a show. In OK and OKJ, the first round in Italy set up who we expect our frontrunners to be in 2026. In Academy Senior, a new set of over 40 drivers are ready to battle it out at the start of the second campaign for this age group. Before we look at the latest action from the MondoKart.com FIA Karting European Championships, let's hear more about the FIA Karting Academy Trophy.
It is the first round of the 2026 FIA Karting Academy Trophy here in Valencia. And the FIA University has launched a new education program called Good Sportsmanship for the young drivers and their parents. As the governing body for motorsport, it is our responsibility to safeguard and future-proof the sport. This means keeping the drivers safe, but similarly helping them to adopt healthy racing habits early in life. We want to teach them to race hard but fair, respect each other, respect officials, respect everybody in the paddock. This good sportsmanship module helps young drivers to build the mental capacity and the strength to better deal with setbacks, pressure and success. Today, we delivered the first good sportsmanship course for the young drivers and their parents and legal guardians to promote and foster the values of fair play, integrity and respect in motorsport.
What I most learned about the course today was that respect on the track doesn't stop here. We need to take that for life because always respecting each other is really important. As I talked about the officials, also with our parents or teachers and everyone that is on our environment.
For me, respect official and driver also mechanic is a good sportsmanship.
And for me, the respect out of the track is so important thing because we are humans. Respect is the best form of communicating in motorsport.
We are taught in the UAE to respect people the same way we respect our families, our friends and all cultural people. And we were made to feel them present in every way possible.
I think you can show good integrity when you have good clean racing on the track, not taking anybody out and just being overall a good driver.
These good sportsmanship sessions will continue over the Academy Trophy season, guiding the drivers as they begin their racing careers. Here at the FIA, our goal is to make sure that they are ready for the journey ahead, prepared with the skills, mindset and discipline to take on the track with confidence.
Let's go for a lap round Valencia with one of Spain's finest, Aaron Garcia. A fast start to the lap sees the drivers tackle the long right-hander of turn 1, which tightens on exit before the flat kink of turn 2. The drivers are quickly on the brakes to pick out the apex curbs for both turns 3 and 4. The infield section starts with the right-hander of turn 5, immediately flowing into 6. An overtaking chance is available into the left-hander of turn 7, before the circuit opens and flows once again starting with turn 8. The speed builds through another set of lefts through turns 9 and 10. The infield straight sets drivers up for turn 11, another overtaking hotspot. Turns 12, 13 and 14 all test a driver's skill of balancing speed and positioning on track to ensure the best straight line velocity down the back straight into turns 15 and 16. Drivers will set themselves up for the last gasp chance for gaining positions into the chicane. Turns 17, 18 and 19 complete a lap here in Spain of this 1.428 kilometre circuit. Valencia 2026, the scene of the first final of the year for the FIA Karting Academy Trophy for senior drivers. Receiving their medals on the grid, the top 36 had fought through time qualifying and 3 rounds of qualifying heats. The heat victories were spread across 3 drivers, Alex Desario of Italy, Boaz Maximov of the Netherlands, and pole sitter, Switzerland's Alexis Genolet. The UK's Albi Lapper started second, the stage set for the first final of the year. 21 laps to find the first round winner for the second senior edition of the FIA Karting Academy Trophy got underway with a typically strong start for those on the pole side of the rolling grid. Genolet started well, Estonia's Oliver Kerg following through into second place, Lapper dropped to third, as the rest battled their way through turns 3 and 4 with no major incidents to report through the first sector. The biggest mover on lap 1 would be Lukas Konopka, up 8 places from 20th on the grid. Romania's Tudor Jurkan made a nice move on lap 2 to take 5th from Japan's Simba Matoda. Jurkan looking to at least repeat the performance of 6th place in the Junior Academy final at the same track in 2025. Matoda would respond with a move to retake 5th at turn 11. Boaz Maximov would take advantage of the chain reaction, the Dutch driver moving past Sebastian Grøndal-Eels of Norway for 8th, who also lost out to Desario, and Australia's Liam Carr. Slovakia's Lukas Konopka was next to pass the Norwegian. Not a happy lap for the driver in kart 427. Lap 3, Desario traded places with fellow heat winner Maximov for 8th. Liam Carr would look for the chance to get by through 8, 9 and 10. Eventually the Australian would make the overtake work through turn number 11. Meanwhile at the front, Genolet's lead was growing. Lap 4, turn 11 was the scene for a close moment between Jurkan, Matoda and Austria's Ivan Simonova. Matoda off the road, Alex Desario brilliantly swinging around the outside and up into the top 5. Elsewhere in the top 10, Liam Carr continued forward progress at the start of lap 5, passing Jurkan for 6th place. Having lost 3 places early on, Carr was now gaining places from where he'd started. Lithuania's Vanessa Shilkinator battled with Simonova at turn 11. The exchange allowed Derek Varga of the United States of America to pass both of them, moving himself up to 12th place. Further up the road, Genolet now held a 2-second advantage over the rest. Lap 6, Konopka made light work of Grøndal-Eels in the infield to take 8th place. Maximov would pull off a great move round the outside through turn 7 before Grøndal-Eels' day would suffer further hardships, losing out to a recovering Matoda, who overtook through turn 11. Elsewhere, Argentina's Jose Bautista de Ligt was running well, up 12 places and into the top 20. With a third of the race gone, Genolet led comfortably. The day had started with a comfortable win in the third and final round of the heats. The Swiss driver was building a similar gap, 2.7 seconds ahead of Kerg, with the rest of the top 10 starting to spread out. Lap 12, Grøndal-Eels and Maximov battled hard for 11th place into and through turn 1. The Norwegian fighting back and opening the door for Czechia's Filip Planeta to sneak through. Later that same lap, Desario took the chance to pass Poland's Mikel Kajak and move himself up to 4th place. The Italian was hotly pursued, however, by Carr, the Australian looking to add to his championship points tally from earlier in the meeting. End of lap 15, Konopka deftly drifted down the inside of Shilkinator for 7th place at the final chicane. Often the case at Valencia, the Slovak driver would need to defend down towards turn 1. The stack-up allowed Matoda to find a way through. Fierce battles aplenty in the top 10. After some hard striking of the curbs, the favour would be returned through turns 5 and 6. Vanessa Shilkinator back up to 8th place and looking to consolidate her position. With only a few laps remaining, Genolet was comfortably in the lead. Less so was Kerg in second, with close attentions coming in from Lapper and Desario. Kerg was looking to make history and return Estonia to the podium in any FIA Karting Academy Trophy race for the first time since Mark Didnitsky's efforts in 2022. Heartbreak late on, Simba Matoda's race sadly would not end with the checkered flag. The Japanese driver understandably frustrated to lose out on the chance of points with only a few laps to go. Onto the final lap with Kerg breaking away, Lapper was left on the defensive to hold on to third. Vulnerable into the final chicane, it would be close. Back at the front, Alexis Genolet took the first win of the season, a tremendous effort, winning by over 6 seconds. Lapper held on to a podium place by half a kart length after a mighty finish with Desario and Carr. For Switzerland, it was a great start to the season. Genolet's win the nation's best result in the senior category to date, and a first Academy win since Dan Allemann's achievements in the junior category in 2024. The result had also extended Genolet's standings lead to 13 points. The top 10 in the first Academy Senior final, Genolet clear from Kerg in second, Lapper holding on for third, Desario and Carr complete the top 5, whilst there were good points scored by Sayak, Planeta, Shilkinator, Konopka and Chen from Singapore. The top 8 in the final also reflects the same top 8 in the point standings after round 1. On the podium, proud moments for the drivers. Lapper's determination bringing home a strong result, Kurg returning Estonia to the Academy podium for the first time in nearly 4 years, and Alexis Genolet, a dominant performance, marking himself out as the driver to beat in this year's Academy Senior campaign.
Yeah, it was difficult really to save the tyre. It was just felt like I was almost falling to pieces. But yeah, as soon as I kind of lost catching distance with the driver in front, I thought I need to keep this podium, so I'd go on the defensive.
I didn't want to look back because I knew I would get really nervous. So yeah, just tried to keep my cool, and yeah, it worked out fine. To be fair, I was counting down the laps from lap 1, but yeah, still felt good and confidence is really good now.
Yes, honestly, it's been an incredible weekend. I was able to take pole position for the first round, which was really good. And then to win the final is truly unbelievable. Well, I'm going to do everything I can to win. I've already been to Mulsanne, so I know the track well, and yeah, we're going to do everything we can to win there too. Ahead of the second final of the season for OKJ, Will Green had continued from where he'd left things in Italy, taking 5 heat wins before Sunday's big race. Other heat winners included Oscar Ivale, Manny Nuvolini, Gioli Girardello and Daniel Miron. The majority of those up at the front in Le Concours got through, Priam Bruno the notable absentee. Green, championship leader, started on pole, rally alongside from second, Manny Nuvolini starting third, looking to excel once again in Valencia. Pressure on into turn 1 under sunny skies in Spain, and immediately there would be trouble. Lucas Palacio on the grass, triggering a concertina effect back to Forza teammate Benji Westwood, the Maltese driver losing several positions as a result. Green led from Mercedes junior driver Nuvolini into turn 3, as several drivers bounced over the dirt to avoid the worst consequences through turn 4. Somewhat surprisingly, no drivers would be out on lap 1 despite the dramas. Daniel Miron was up to 3rd place for Fusion Motorsport, with Lorenzo Di Pietrantonio up to 4th. It had been a good start for those on the pole side of the grid. For Wale, the difficulties of starting 2nd at Valencia had struck in a big way, down to 18th on the first lap. With the top 3 already breaking away, the chances for those outside the podium places were immediately lengthening. Nuvolini made the move for the lead on lap 2, Green forced to concede 2nd as well to Miron through turns 12 and 13. Di Pietrantonio continued to lead the second group from Jarlathusea and Girardello. Lap 3, Giacomo Giusto made a move on Alex Malota for 7th. Whilst up ahead out of the same corner, Miron got a run on Nuvolini, taking the lead through turn 12. The changes of position amongst the top 3 meant that the rest were closing in. However, for Miron, it was a statement of intent in the early stages of the Valencian final. Lap 5, Green makes the move on Nuvolini for 2nd, exhibiting good race management and a desire from the Kart Republic's works driver to keep attacking. Further back, Denny Babicek had fought back into the final after a rough timed qualifying. The Czech driver went wheel to wheel with OKJ newcomer Emerson Macandiuren through turn 12. With a third of the race gone, Ollie Cini, Leo Gorski and Albert Tam got embroiled in a scrap for 15th place. Just as it was at Le Concours, the fierce battle for any form of championship points was on. The first retirement of the race came in the form of Miguel Manzano, the Mexican sadly not able to score points for the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. Lap 10, and with Miron and Green having worked together to make a gap, the Williams junior driver went for the lead. Miron wasn't for sitting in 2nd place though. He'd immediately counter-attack and bring Nuvolini into the scrap once again. Nuvolini threw into 2nd place. A spirit from the others perhaps missing during round 1. Will Green was having a much tougher time of it in Spain, perhaps thinking already about consolidating his points lead. Only 2 drivers retired from the final, the other one also one of Mexico's homes. Paralin Motorsport's Juan Garciase out with a third of the race to go. Lap 14, Girardello bravely sticks in an overtake on the championship leader. With the top 2 stretching away, Green wisely chooses not to counter into turn 3. Immediately behind, Jarlathusea was looking to build on his first championship points score of the season earlier in the weekend. A move on Di Pietrantonio put the Briton 5th with a handful of laps to go. After the hardships of the final in Italy, this was a much-deserved step forward for the Energy Corsa driver. Green wasn't done with hopes of a podium. A move through turn 7 reformed the Kart Republic equipment lockout of the top 3 with less than 4 laps to go. Into the latter stages, Lucas Palacio moved up to 6th place on the road on lap 16. However, a flurry of post-race penalties, including a case of a drop front fairing, demoted the American back out of the points-paying positions. Onto the final lap. Despite extracting every fibre of pace he could, Nuvolini could not get close enough to Miron. The driver who thought pre-race he was missing a bit of pace had tricked them all, and with it took victory in Spain, his biggest win to date, and a first FIA Karting race victory for the Fusion Motorsport team. A project still in its early days had emerged with a new winner in FIA Karting, and for Kart Republic, the confirmation, if it was ever needed, that they have a new satellite team ready to take race victories. The win also moved Miron up to second place in the standings, now only 15 points behind Green. Battle for the European Championship in OKJ well and truly on. The top 10 in Valencia for OKJ. Miron takes a maiden FIA Karting victory from Nuvolini and Green. Girardello is now third in the standings, and with Saya completes the finals top 5. Di Pietrantonio announces himself at this level with 6th, ahead of Antonio Pizzonia Jr., Antoine Venant, Malotto and Valle also in the top 10. An important weekend for all three on the podium in OKJ. Will Green and Manu Nuvolini content with strong showings, but Daniel Miron makes his name heard with a magnificent victory.
Yeah, it was an okay race. I had a decent start, and then I had struggled a bit with the speed at the start, but then towards the end it was good, so just a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm happy. It was still a good week overall. I won 4 heats and the Super Heat, so yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I'm happy, but yeah, P2 is okay. We take a lot of points in the championship, so yeah, we keep pushing for the 2 last rounds. I was not fast in the straight because I was more short in the sprocket, I think. But yeah, P2 is okay.
So after the start was straight away P3. And he went for the move. I went with him, and later I went on the move with two Mani. And yeah, it stayed like that in the whole race. And yeah, just very happy. I was trying to keep calm because it's very important to do tire management and just try to build a gap. Yeah, it's a very good result for the team, and I really want to say thank you to Fusion after this one, and yeah, we'll keep working for a championship.
Yeah, really good result. Seems like it's been a long time coming. He's had a few things thrown at him this weekend, but he's risen above it really well in a very mature drive in the final, so really happy. And no matter what controversy there is and things that are going on in the background, yeah, like I say, you just got to keep a cool head and go and do the job, and that's exactly what he did in the final. Led it pretty much all the way, and was very calm and mature.
Last race in Valencia came with some of the best racing conditions of the weekend for the OK category. Along with the dry conditions had returned a number of names not seen at the front for some time. Championship leader Noah Baglin would line up 4th on the grid, behind Dan Aleman, and a welcome return to the front row for 2024 European champion Joe Turney and Nicholas Schaufler. As the drivers got ready for another 21-lap final, could the experience on the front row hold off the young chargers on row 2? A switch to the outside line from Nicholas Schaufler offered potentially a different set of permutations into turn 1. A bold run gave the Austrian the lead, whilst behind there was trouble for Energy Course's Lev Krutilov, JGR's Zach Green, Tony Kart's Stewie Peschel and others. Emerging from the chaos of turn 1, the field next negotiated their way through the pinch point of turn 3. Green made an attempt to get going as permitted on lap 1. Schaufler led from Baglin, Turney, Aleman and Spanish wildcard, but a familiar name to many in Valencia, Aaron Garcia. Green at the back was also running again. Turn 11, Baglin goes to the lead and takes it from Schaufler. After having misfortune in the heats, Baglin was now back in prime position for a 3rd FIA win on the spin. Dan Aleman had plenty of experience behind him. Garcia and Davide Bataro on the Cali Cart getting in close to the rear bumper in the early stages. Zach Drummond has a good record around Valencia and put his knowledge to good use, getting past Benjamin Maniac for 7th place, with strong potential to go further. Krutilov's retirement was confirmed moments later, the first of the OK field. The last time Joe Turney raced in an FIA final round Valencia, Dan Aleman was preparing for an FIA Karting Academy Trophy campaign. A new battle between the two went the way of neither, local hero Garcia getting both of them on the exit and up into 3rd. At the very front, Noah Baglin now led by 8/10 over Schaufler. The gap back to the group fighting for 3rd, a further 2nd. Matters nearly got worse for Turney, a close moment with Battaro through the final chicane. A lot had happened in the first 3 laps and the changes of position weren't for pausing. Drummond and Ricky Flynn's Devin Waltz both passed Battaro at the start of lap 4 into turn 1. Battaro straight away set his eyes back forward, getting past Waltz through turn 4, who then lost out to others after clattering the curb. Maniac now 8th, and Manuel Miguez up to P9. Ward Racing's Paralympic pilots were up for getting stuck in. Thomas Chikaraki bravely darted past Waltz through turns 9 and 10. Not often a place you see an overtake occur in Valencia. A stunning move. Davide Battaro's final was not going his way, losing several positions whilst in the chicane runoff. CRG won here in 2024 with Gabriel Gomez. Clovis Nougared was keen to give the boys and girls in orange and black something to cheer about by trying to reach the top 10. Drew Waltz joined Devin in having turn 4 troubles. A charging Filippo Sala moving up from 33rd on the grid took his Charles Leclerc Birrell round the outside and up to 13th. Baglin led by a second from Schaufler. From Garcia, Alaman, Turney and Drummond, all inside the top 6. Lap 5, Maniac gets by on Nougared, closely followed by Dean Hugendorn for a spot in the top 10. It had been a damaged limitation weekend for last year's OKJ European champion, fighting back in his works Paralympic after a tough timed qualifying. Lap 6, Vladimir Ivanikov and Bosco Arias both broke up into the points-paying positions at the expense of Drew Waltz in what was proving to be a tight midfield battle. Victor Gustafsson's final was one to forget, sadly, retiring well before the halfway mark. Alaman versus Turney round 2 was ready to break out a third of the way into the final. Turney finding the speed to move up to 4th in a top 7 lockout for Kart Republic running drivers. Other retirements included Henry Domain, out after having scored well through the heats. Lap 9, Drummond successfully negotiated his way past Alaman for 5th, continuing what had already been a very good day for the Fusion team. Joe Turney's brand of mastering the longer distances in a final was on show by the halfway stage. The runner-up in last year's World Championship reminding everyone of what they've missed out on at La Conca, with a move on Garcia to move up to 3rd place. Back in the midfield, Asher Ochstein momentarily pushed Drew Waltz further away from the points with an attempt on a move for the 16th place at turn 11. The failed attempt opened the door for Michael McGoy to overtake his compatriot with a nice overtake through onto the back straight. Lap 14, a textbook turn 1 take of position by Drummond, moves the Scot up into 4th place. Zach Green's race was called done by the race officials due to the damage on the rear bodywork. 3 laps to go, the scrap for second was on between Schaufler and Turney. Kart racing of the highest calibre between 2 of the best here in Valencia. Eventually, the battle would go the way of Turney, who found a way past on lap 20 through the infield. Unfortunately for the returning Turney, the laps had run out for a charge back to Baglin. Clear by 2 seconds, Noah Baglin stormed to another victory, his second of the season, and including his OK Junior World Championship win at the end of 2025, now unbeaten in his last 3 FIA Karting finals. This victory, though, arguably his best to date, given the drivers also present in Valencia. Baglin wins again, extending his points lead to a massive 79 points. Turney records a first European Championship podium since Kristianstad 2024. Schaufler's 3rd, his best FIA result to date. Drummond takes 2nd in the standings with 4th, ahead of Garcia, Miguez, Chikaraki, Maniac, Hugendorn and Devin Waltz. Another impressive performance in OK from the Kart Republic family. Schaufler rewards DPK with the podium, Turney shows his class once again. For Noah Baglin, the light keeps shining for the Ferrari Driver Academy star, now a heavy favourite for the title.
Overall, I'm really happy with the weekend and how it turned out. Of course, I made a mistake as well on the last 2 laps in the final now. But I'm really happy with the job the team has done and we've completed this weekend. I'm really confident for Mulsanne because I think the package we have now is really great with chassis, how the team is working and the engines, and yeah, feeling confident.
Obviously the start was close, so dropped down to P3 in the first corner, and then yeah, the first 3 laps didn't quite go to plan, honestly, and then the speed that we had though from like lap 5 onwards was enough to pull us back into the race.
All round basically a perfect week, except from the DQ and the pre-final was P2. So yeah, I'm really happy. I'm happy with the team. The team helped so much this week, so yeah, it's good.
We work hard. Second European round, to be in this condition, make a good light. Looks like the light is quite green for the next one. But Mulsanne is totally different track for everybody. Then we'll see what happens. The first time for everybody, we'll see. We keep pushing.
That's all we have time for today from the world of FIA karting. Academy Senior is up and running for 2026. Alexis Genolet will head to the second round with an early lead. OK Junior looks set for a fascinating second half of the season, with Daniel Miron one of several drivers with their eyes on the European title. A different story though in OK, as the unbeaten Noah Baglin takes a commanding lead towards Mulsanne in Germany, where the categories will convene in the middle of June. From us all here in the FIA paddock, thank you for joining us in Valencia. We hope to see you again soon.